As you might have seen already, the main tools we're using here are the code editor and the web browser. The more time that you can invest learning how to use both your code editor and your web browser, the more productive you'll be when coding in JavaScript. In this lesson, I want to show you how to open up the console on your web browser. I'm using Chromium, which is the open source version of Google Chrome. It works in the exactly same way. So everything I'm doing here in Chromium will work in a similar way in Google Chrome. Some little aspects like how to open up the console might be a bit different depending on your operating system, but you should be easy. It should be okay, and it should be easy to find anyway. So what is the console? Let me first show you how to access it, and then I will explain what it does. I have my web page loaded on the browser, and there are different ways to open up your console. One of them is to press Ctrl Shift and the letter I, and then go to console in here. Another way is to use the right click of your mouse and going to inspect element, and that should open up your developer tools here, and then you can go to the console. Also, you can open your console if you go to the menu, and in this case more tools, developer tools, and that opens up the developer tools down here. So what does the console do? The console allows us to output information from our JavaScript code. So far, when we want to check on the value of a specific variable, what we've been doing is using message boxes. But as you might have noticed already, it can get a bit annoying having so many message boxes on your website. So every time that you reload the page, you have to click OK for different message boxes. So we can just show stuff in here. I want to show, for instance, the value of C. I'm declaring two variables, A and B, and adding them up, so the result should be obviously 6. Now, how to show that on the console? I'm gonna type in console.log and then brackets, and then the value that I want to show, which could be a variable, a number, a string, or anything you want, any type of object variable. Let me reload the page now to have this executed. See how we see in the console the result, and it shows you in here in which line of the program that is taking place. So that is on line number 10. What if there was an error in here? If I made something that you're not supposed to do in JavaScript. For example, this would make no sense because there's no equal sign. I'm going to reload the page, and you can see that the console also shows you an error where there is an error, and it usually points out in which line this error is taking place. Sometimes your code will not run. A lot of the times the code will not run. When you're developing, it's always an iterative process. You get it wrong, you get it right, you move step by step. So using the console usually helps you find where these problems are. In this case, as indicated there, line number 9. So I go to line number 9, and yes, there's a problem here, there's no equal sign. You can also, if you have different things in here, you can clean it up as well by using this button here, and and that will clean everything that's in the console. You can also type things in the console and check the values of some of these variables. For example, the variable A, I just want to see the variable A. Oh, it's not defined because there was an error before. Let me just reload this again. Okay, now we should be good. I'm going to type letter A, and you see it has a value of 1, letter B, value of 5. These are the ones that we defined. Letter C, 6. And we can also even do further calculations here. You could say, for example, a new variable D, which is going to be C plus A, and then I can check on D, and it has a value of 7. And I can also modify existing variables. I can say that C is now 100, and if I check on C, it's now 100. And then I can delete everything, clear it, because it doesn't change the values. The value is still 100, but I can clean it with this. When I reload the page, everything that I changed here is gone, is lost. So if I reload the page and I check letter C again, you see that it's no longer 100, it is now number 6. So to summarize what we've seen now, and we will be using the console from now on, so I'm not going to be using message boxes to show values. I will be showing those on the console. To summarize, the more time that you spend learning how to use your development tools, the web browser, the code editor, and whichever other tools you're using, the more productive you'll become, and it's going to save you hours of your time, or days, or weeks, or years. The console allows you to check what's going on in the code, either during the execution of the code by issuing console.log statements. You can have many of them, and that all gets shown here. Or you can also just have a play directly in the console and type in stuff. That's basically a place where you can type in JavaScript code and it gets executed on the spot. So if you don't remember how to do a multiplication, you can have a play here. You can use this for wherever you want. Declare variables, even test things, and it will give you an error. And also don't forget that the ability to find the errors using the console is a very important skill to develop.